Good afternoon. It's once again Friday at 5:30 on a Friday afternoon, and I am delighted to be here with you so that I can give you a little bit of a report from Washington District of Columbia. And of course, we know that much of the focus has been on the hearings relative to the nomination of a new nominee for the Supreme Court of the United States of America. And there has been a great deal of grilling going on. I must confess that from my vantage point, the nominee is scary, and I think he has some views that I certainly don't agree with. As a matter of fact, the notion that he is in favor of expanding what we have traditionally felt and known as the power and authority of one man, one person, or one woman, the President of the United States of America, when I've always felt, and I've always been taught that one of the things that made our country so special and so different is the separation of powers, where no one branch of the government has the authority to just run things for the whole country. In order to run things, we've been taught that you need to have agreement between the legislative branch and the executive branch, and of course the clarifier, or the ultimate, is the judicial branch. And if you give all the authority and all the power to the executive branch, that means there's an imbalance. And so I hope that the current gentleman who wants to become a member of the Supreme Court does not become a member, although it looks as though he might and could, and some people would say should, because the political party that is in control, more control than any other entities, seem to be the party of the president who made the nomination. And so one would almost expect that that party will vote in the majority when we get to that point. But in the meantime, the Democrats are holding their own, and I must confess that I'm pleased to hear these dissenting positions and views. Ways and Means Committee has been busy, and we're going to be very busy again next week because the Republicans are going to have another tax cut bill on the floor. They passed a terrible immigration bill as far as I'm concerned. And of course, you can always disagree, and I do disagree with what was done this week. And I'm probably going to disagree with what gets done next week, but we'll have some healthy debate. We'll have some serious debate. And we are continuing to see across the country upheavals in terms of political decisions that constituents are making. A woman from Chicago who grew up in Chicago has just won a congressional district in the Democratic primary in the state of Massachusetts. She defeated my good friend Mike Capiano, who is considered a solid Democrat, somewhat on the progressive side, and she outprogressed him and won that primary. And it looks like she may very well win the general election. And if she does, that will add another African American to the United States House of Representatives. And so we may end up with more than 50 African Americans, people of African American heritage, in the House of Representatives. And when that happens, I'm going to be very pleased about that. Couple of announcements. Lots of people have died, and there are just lots of funerals this weekend. I'll mention two: Miss Catherine Clay, who is the mother of one of my staff members. As a matter of fact, the woman who usually comes here with me on Friday to take calls. Her mother died, Miss Catherine Clay, and she's the mother of Krista Overton. And her funeral is going to be tomorrow morning at the First Corinthian Church at 922 South Keeler. And she has a viewing tonight that I'm going to visit when I leave here. Art Porter, well-known newsman, also died. And Art's funeral is going to be tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and to 12 o'clock at the Judson Church on right there on Austin Boulevard, about 1,200 or so north on Austin Boulevard. I used to live on the other side of the street from that church, and so we're going to try to get there as well. I have a whole bunch of things tomorrow. Beyond that, the annual Community Health and Wellness Fair will be at the New Home Missionary Baptist Church. That's at 4804 West Polk Street, where the well-known pastor and great singer, Reverend Mac McCullum, is the pastor there and has been. Also, out in the Inglewood community, there's going to be the annual Jericho Walk, sponsored by Bishop Connie C. Banza. Bishop Banza and her family are well known. I've known them for years. Her husband is a physician, and unfortunately he's been a bit ill. And the bishop herself has been ill, so I'm going to wish them the best. I hope I'll be able to get there. There's an endorsement interview I'm going to have to do tomorrow afternoon with the Illinois Education Association. That's a part of the ENEA. And so we'll talk about education with them. Tomorrow night, I've got an anniversary benefit at Millennium Park at the Rooftop Terrace at 201 East Randolph. And it's the 35th anniversary of this group, and I'm going to be there. Oh my goodness, Sunday morning I'm going to be out at the Holy Trinity Ukrainian Orthodox Church in Bensonville, Illinois. They're going to kind of dedicate a mass to me. My birthday was yesterday, and so I want to thank them for that. And then I'm supposed to leave there and go to St. Andrew's Parish in Glenview, Illinois. And, my good friend who works down in Greektown, his grandson is being baptized, and I've been invited to come and share that activity with them. Then we've got the Sankofa's Grandparent Appreciation, will be at Bishop Shepard Lowe's Memorial Center. That's at 3 o'clock out on Halsted. And I've got Bishop Claude Porter's 46-year anniversary, and my good friend Congressman Bobby Rush has got his wedding anniversary, his wedding celebration reception at the Harold Washington Library. And oh my goodness, and Richard Borkins got a surprise birthday party, and oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to make it. And so when people say they don't have much to do in Chicago, I just don't know what part of Chicago they live in. Chicago is one of the most activated cities in the United States of America. And then, of course, we had the announcement from our mayor that he is not going to run for mayor. And so there's about 20 people, I guess, who've said they are going to run, or they're interested in running. Of course, they won't all run, and everybody running won't be going anywhere. But it's going to be an exciting time because we will be electing new leadership for our city. All 50 of the aldermen are going to be running. Those who are running for re-election and those who won't, other people will be running. But all of the aldermanic positions are up, as well as the city clerk and city treasurer. So we're going to have a hot time in Chicago. And we've, of course, got the November election for governor and state offices. We're going to be doing a lot of decision making. So make sure that you are engaged, make sure you're involved, and that you are for somebody, even if it's just being for yourself. In order to be for somebody, you need to be registered and you need to vote. Make your voices heard. Make your opinions known. I know we've got a caller, and so let's go to the phone and see what our callers are talking about today.
Yeah, how you doing, Connie Davis?
James, I am doing wonderful. How are you?
Okay. Now, wait, I just want to say happy birthday. You said your birthday was Thursday. But Connie Davis.
Yes.
Hello? Okay, now, when you talk about everybody going to be running for mayor, you remember Mayor Danny, right?
Yeah, that's possible.
Now, okay, when everybody's trying to rob, everybody had robbed when he want to become mayor again. But look, when everybody else had robbed to become mayor, when Mayor Danny had won again. But I think this is the same thing that it's going to happen again.
Have you decided who you're going to support?
Dorothy Brown.
All right, hey, you know what you're going to do.
She's been around the block more than anybody. And like you said, a lot of them running from mayor. But I think this going to end up backfiring on some of the other aldermen. Like when Mayor Day was in office, the same thing happened to Mayor Daddy. When a lot of people want to become mayor. But look, it's almost the same thing what happened when Mayor Daddy had run here.
All right. Oh, pardon me. Yeah.
Happy late birthday to you, Connie Davis.
Well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a hot time in the old town, and you have already, you're involved and you're engaged and you know what you want and you know who you want. And hopefully all people will reach some conclusion. And James, it's just good to talk to you because you are a knowledgeable person, and I'm delighted that you call us.
Okay, Davis, when you going to have the thing in Harold Washington, I want to know if it's going to be next week or when.
I think it will be more than likely around some particular date where we're celebrating something that related to him. So I don't know what that date is going to be yet, but as soon as I find out, I will certainly announce it.
Okay, then, Kurt, Have a good weekend.
You too, and thank you so very much. And of course, any other callers that we've got who want to weigh in and tell us what they're thinking about the Supreme Court justice that, the person who's been nominated, and the president is hoping that he will be voted upon by the Senate. And of course, there are many, many people who would hope that this particular nominee would not be voted into the Supreme Court. I think I mentioned earlier, not today, but at one point, that I have disagreed more with the Supreme Court decisions in the last 3 or 4 years than I ever thought I'd be disagreeing with in my life. And so I'm disagreeing a great deal with things that the Supreme Court is deciding, but that becomes the rule. That becomes the law. That becomes the constitutional question that often gets asked. So we'll go right to the phone, take our next caller. Caller, are you there?
Yes, good evening, Congressman Danny K. Davis. And I'd like to wish you a happy belated birthday and many, many more healthy and prosperous ones.
Well, thank you. Yesterday was indeed my birthday, and I had ice cream and I had lemon cake, and it was very good.
That's delicious, delicious. Well, it broke my heart to see that Rahm is not running again, but nevertheless, I'm waiting to see whom he endorses and throws his support behind.
Well, he has sort of indicated that whoever he thinks will win is not in the race yet.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So I'm waiting to see, but the only, God knows. And so far as that Supreme Court nomination, thumbs down all the way. But like you said, anybody that this man in office chooses, it seems to be, oh, Lord, prayer, a lot of prayer. God bless you and your lovely wife. And again, Congressman, continue to do, I wish you were running, but that's, for mayor, then no question.
And I appreciate the numbers of people. Actually, I've gotten lots of calls from people suggesting that I would be a good candidate. And when I went through the airport Tuesday, a number of people stopped me and said, hey, if you run, we'll support you.
Yes.
I think, we mentioned that I just had a birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to require a lot of energy. I think that I still have a great deal to offer in the way of knowledge, wisdom, experience, but at this juncture, I would think that somebody a little younger than I am should be running for mayor. Mayor isn't quite like being a member of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I read off a schedule of things that I'll be doing tonight and tomorrow and Sunday. And if you're mayor, you generally have to find time to get a haircut or get a shave. I mean, you have a schedule that, you have to make an appointment to brush your teeth or whatever. So I'm going to see if I can't help some of these other people who say they want to run and they want to do well, and that's what I'm going to try to do. But I certainly thank you for your comment, and I thank all of those individuals who have suggested to me that they would be supportive if I was to run, but I don't think I'll be running, but thank them anyway.
Well, whomever you support, then that's what I'll go with also. And again, Congressman, God bless you. Good health, prosperity, peace, abundance, and love through it for now and the coming generations to come. We love you.
Thank you so very much, and I really appreciate your call. Caller, are you there?
Yes, Congressman, and first of all, it's a great day to be on God's green earth. And happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you.
I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. You stay where you at. You don't need to come in here and mess with the city. Leave that alone. Number two, it's so many people that's jumping in this. I think it's way too many, but, I guess we live in the great United States of America, so you could be able to do these certain things. But I like to see two people throw their hat in the ring. Well, actually, three people. Now, the three people, I know you don't actually like to say who you like or would be interested, but I've been noticing over the years when something good to you, you normally rub your head. So I'm going to name these three people to you. And if it's possible, rub your head on these three people. Number one, I was going to go with the company. I was going to go with Rom. That was automatically. I like to see Valerie Jarrett run.
All right.
I like to see Sandy Duncan run.
Okay.
And I like to see Michelle Obama. Now,
yeah, well, let me tell you, I think you've got three winners. I don't think, I know that there are people trying to get Valerie Jarrett to run.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there are people who'd love to see Michelle Obama run, but I don't think they're going to come back to Chicago for a while. And I think that there are people who'd like to see Ernie Duncan run.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't think either one of them have indicated. And of course, if Valerie Jarrett, I think, was to run, she would probably be a front runner.
Definitely.
She'd say she would run.
Listen, did you hear Donald Duck talking last night to his base? Let me tell you something. They just need to make a great big pond, put his butt in there, let him float around with the other ducks, and had the nerve enough to put the word politician to himself. Get that nut out. Just get him out. Please do anything. So again, you stay where you at. Maybe you run for president. That'd be much better. But we got to get the duck out of office. Let me get out the air to hear your response, and maybe we can eat some fried duck. Maybe tomorrow. All right, you have a great day. Let me get out so I can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. Well, there are people internal who are blasting the president, kind of, and these are people who work for him and people who work at the White House. And so the president does not seem to really care much about what people say. He calls it fake news, and whenever he's asked about how well he's doing, he say he's doing an outstanding job, and that's why people like him, and that he's the best that they've seen in a long time. And we won't know, though, until the time comes for his re-election, and we'll see what happens then. But he seems to be holding on. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am, and I want to congratulate you for another birthday and continue to be blessed. And we need you here. And when I say we need you, I'm talking about our young generation, our future generation. They need to see what a congressman's job is all about, what a community young man care about his community and his city is about. And you have all of those critiques. You have been great and you're getting greater and greater and greater, and we need you to be that chaperone and with that leadership that you have, because you're the best that we got right now. And thank you so much for accepting this call, and have many, many more birthdays.
Thank you so very much, and hey, I really enjoy listening to what our callers have to say, and so I thank you. I'm going to see if I can get one more call in. Caller, are you there? Oh, okay. Well, you know, we've had some very interesting commentary, but just be aware of all these things that are going on in Chicago. There's no city in this country that's more interesting, more alive than the city of Chicago. Yeah, we have a little problems every once in a while. We have far too much violence. Too many people are being killed. But if you look on the bright side, and the bright side is that all of us are still alive. We have the use of our minds, we have the use of our limbs, and if we believe that things are going to get better, they will. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week to tell you what happened at the Congressional Black Caucus's ALC in Washington for the next week to come. Take care.